Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has recently sparked international attention with an audacious and groundbreaking proposal regarding Ukraine's security. Amid ongoing tensions between Ukraine and Russia, Meloni suggested extending NATO's critical Article 5 protection to Ukraine, even without the country becoming an official NATO member. This unprecedented plan is causing ripples across European capitals and is seen by some as a potential turning point in the long-standing conflict. To fully understand the significance of this proposal, it's essential to comprehend NATO's Article 5. Often referred to as the heart of NATO, Article 5 declares that an attack on one member nation is an attack on all member nations. This clause has been the cornerstone of NATO's collective security arrangement since the alliance was founded in 1949. It was famously invoked only once in response to the terrorist attacks in New York City on September 11, 2001, demonstrating its potency and significance. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni's announcement came at a crucial moment in the conflict. Despite substantial international support, Ukraine remains vulnerable due to its exclusion from NATO's official membership, leaving it unable to fully leverage the alliance's most powerful deterrent against Russian aggression. Meloni's idea proposes circumventing NATO's formal membership procedure, which can take years, if not decades, due to strict accession criteria and political barriers, particularly in a volatile geopolitical context. The concept behind Meloni's proposal is straightforward yet powerful. Ukraine would benefit from the full force of NATO's collective defense measures without undergoing the complex, often politically charged, membership process. This approach directly addresses one of Ukraine's major security vulnerabilities, the absence of concrete international military assurances. From a practical perspective, extending Article 5 to Ukraine without official membership might seem legally complicated, but there are precedents for special security arrangements. Historically, NATO's collective security umbrella has been flexible, allowing adaptations to accommodate strategic geopolitical needs, even when full membership wasn't immediately possible. Countries like Finland and Sweden, for example, received strong NATO assurances before officially joining, demonstrating that NATO's security structure can adapt to unique geopolitical circumstances. However, Meloni's idea challenges the traditional diplomatic norms and confronts directly Russia's long-standing opposition to Ukraine joining NATO. Russia views Ukraine's potential NATO membership as an existential threat, a stance reiterated repeatedly by President Vladimir Putin. Moscow has been clear that any form of military alignment of Ukraine with NATO could lead to escalated military tensions beyond Europe, potentially triggering a broader and more destructive conflict. Despite these risks, many European nations view Meloni's proposal positively. Countries like France, Germany, and the United Kingdom, who already offer extensive military and humanitarian aid to Ukraine, see Meloni's approach as a logical escalation that could solidify their support while avoiding full NATO integration that might provoke Russia further. Moreover, Meloni's proposal could redefine Europe's security landscape, setting a precedent for how NATO addresses similar security dilemmas in the future. It raises critical questions about NATO's role in providing security assurances to countries on its periphery. Meloni's bold strategy also pressures Europe and the West to consider deeper, more innovative diplomatic and military solutions beyond traditional frameworks. Meanwhile, the United States under President Donald Trump remains a crucial yet unpredictable actor in this scenario. Trump's administration previously expressed skepticism regarding Ukraine's full NATO membership, citing concerns about escalating conflicts and obligations to defend distant allies. Despite this, recent diplomatic signals indicate potential flexibility from Washington, particularly if Meloni's plan can reduce direct U.S. military obligations while maintaining a strategic presence in Eastern Europe. Simultaneously, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has continued to emphasize NATO membership as a critical security objective. Zelensky insists NATO membership is integral to his long-term vision of national security. Still, he has demonstrated openness to interim solutions that could secure immediate security guarantees. Meloni's suggestion aligns neatly with this stance, potentially allowing Zelensky a strategic victory without immediate NATO accession. The Russian response to Meloni's proposal remains uncertain, yet predictably negative. Moscow maintains a rigid stance against any NATO involvement in Ukraine, viewing such moves as direct provocations. Kremlin officials have repeatedly stated that further NATO encroachment would escalate the conflict significantly. Meloni's plan, therefore, treads a careful line, offering a practical security solution for Ukraine without directly crossing Russia's clearly stated red lines. Within Europe, reaction to Meloni's plan has been varied. France and the United Kingdom are cautiously supportive, exploring complementary peacekeeping missions that could reinforce the strategic intent behind the proposal. The United Kingdom, led by Prime Minister Keir Starmer, is already exploring peacekeeping missions that could further stabilize Ukraine and demonstrate Europe's resolve. Meanwhile, France under President Emmanuel Macron is advocating diplomatic engagement with both sides, emphasizing the need to achieve a balanced peace agreement that respects Ukrainian sovereignty and territorial integrity without unnecessarily provoking Moscow. Despite its compelling nature, Meloni's NATO umbrella proposal is fraught with challenges. Implementing Article 5 protections for a non-member state presents significant legal and logistical difficulties. NATO's treaty explicitly defines collective defense as applicable to full members, creating significant hurdles to its extension. For the plan to be viable, NATO would require substantial restructuring, possibly involving complex legislative adjustments in each member state, as well as unanimous political agreement. An ambitious task in an organization known for its intricate bureaucracy and consensus-driven decision-making processes. Moreover, critics argue that extending Article 5 protections without membership could dilute NATO's principles, possibly weakening the alliance by setting uncertain standards for collective defense. It could also inadvertently embolden adversaries to challenge NATO's commitment, testing the boundaries of this new interpretation of Article 5. Nonetheless, Meloni's initiative holds significant strategic appeal. It provides Ukraine with much-needed security guarantees, enabling the nation to negotiate from a position of strength and potentially bringing Russia to the negotiating table more quickly. By removing the membership issue as an immediate hurdle, it allows Ukraine and NATO countries to focus instead on stabilizing the region and developing long-term diplomatic solutions. For Russia, the implications are profound. Meloni's strategy would significantly limit Moscow's ability to leverage military threats as diplomatic bargaining chips. By granting Ukraine NATO-like security assurances, European countries would effectively neutralize the Kremlin's aggressive posture, forcing Moscow into a more diplomatic approach to resolving its security concerns in Eastern Europe. The broader strategic impact of Meloni's proposal is also worth exploring. Such a shift could accelerate NATO's evolution, transforming it into a more flexible and adaptive alliance capable of confronting modern geopolitical realities. If successful, this plan could become a blueprint for how NATO responds to future security crises involving non-member countries, potentially reshaping international relations beyond Ukraine. In conclusion, Meloni's proposal marks a pivotal moment for Europe's security architecture. While significant challenges remain, its adoption could profoundly influence not only Ukraine's immediate future, but also the strategic direction of NATO itself. Whether this bold diplomatic maneuver ultimately succeeds or fails, it undeniably redefines the international conversation around security, sovereignty, and alliance obligations. Europe's decision on this matter will not only shape Ukraine's destiny, but also signal to Russia, and indeed the world, that Europe's approach to collective defense is evolving rapidly, prepared to confront future geopolitical threats with unprecedented boldness and unity.